Students, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, is it my voice is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So before going to today's concept, I have to share one motion picture today regarding Indus Valley. If it is place, okay. Otherwise, I will continue my explanation. Are you getting the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. This is Tadal, what you are watching on the screen. Next one is the Great Bath. The Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro, a great example of engineering skills of the Indus people. The inner walls were treated to prevent seepage, stairs descending into the bath. And next one is the granary. The granary was the largest building of Mohenjo-daro. Harappa had as many as 6 granaries, circular brick platforms, most probably used for threshing, were found near the granaries, which is the division of town you are watching on the screen. Okay, so Citadel is upper town and lower town is on the right side. Okay, so Citadel is nothing but having the protective wall. These are the structures of houses. Houses were of one or two story made of baked bricks along narrow street lanes. Every house had rooms with small windows. This is one of the inscription, like uh, which is found at somewhere in the sites of Harappan. These are certain Mesopotamian seals. Okay, so Mesopotamian seal which found at sites of Harappan, and also Harappan seals also you will see. Administration, which is organization which took care of various things, and these are the seals, certain symbols on the seals, which is about the religious aspects. And Mother Goddess was also worshipped. Seals bearing the three-headed figure of a male god with close resemblance of Shiva has also been found. This is one of the burial where you find in somewhere of Harappan site. Okay, so they believed life after death also. Okay, so this is about the decline of Indus Valley civilization. For the decline of Indus Valley civilization, we have certain debates also. Okay, so one among them, and majority of the historians who supported this Aryan invasion. Okay, like the Max Muller and many other Indologists who supported these Aryans who came from the external part and Iran in the Valley. Okay, so and before that, before going to the more um one more screen, and then I'll start my lecture. Okay, so where the all major ancient civilizations were established along the major banks of the major rivers, and abundance of agriculture due to fertile land helped the civilization to thrive. And there is no credible existence to the establish any one civilization as the earliest or the first civilization to have been established. So it is widely assumed that the earliest civilization was in Mesopotamia, and after that, many civilizations came into existence. And the Indus Valley civilization was an ancient civilization that Bronze Age. You are well known that the Indus Valley civilization, which emerged as a part of the Bronze Age. Okay, so where the copper and along with tin used a metal used nothing but bronze. It's a alloy. Okay, so and the majority of the tools and utensils what they used with certain metals along with the stone they used the copper tool and also tool of tin and the mixing up of copper and tin is nothing but the bronze. They use the majority of the tools and utensils used were made with the bronze. That's why we call as this one is the Bronze Age. Okay, so we are well known that the Bronze Age is started after the Neolithic culture. Okay, so after Neolithic culture, we had the Chalcolithic age, where the metal and stone as used as a part of Chalcolithic. We can say as the Bronze Age, where the civilization, Harappan civilization, has emerged. Okay, so it is also referred to as Harappan civilization, owing to fact that the civilization was first discovered in 1921 at the modern site of Harappa, situated in the Punjab province, and at the Bay of Punjab. Okay, so the duration of the Indus Valley civilization, as revealed by many historians and archaeologists, there are certain difference opinion on it, and we already discussed in the last class, like. Many archaeologists thinking that the Indus Valley civilization may flourish in between 3000 to the 2000 BC, and some of them saying that 2500 to 1500 BC. Okay, so many of them also had certain supported the theory which basically given by Mortimer Wheeler and also Max Muller. Okay, so apart from this, we can say somewhat exact duration. It may be by using certain technology, and as a part of technology, the archaeologists and many anthropologists and historians they strongly supported that the radiocarbon dating system, which give you somewhat exact duration, so that according to this radiocarbon dating, we can fix it as the 2500 to 1750 BC. Okay, so likewise, it is somewhat accurate when compared to the other theories or the opinions. Okay, so and we have a certain glance over the geographical extension of Indus Valley civilization in the last class. The Indus Valley civilization was spread over a large area, which today a part of northwestern India and Pakistan also, and it covered an area of 12 lakh 99,600 square meters. And this indicates that Indus Valley civilization was the most extensive among all the ancient civilization. And we have a glance over certain cities and various sites found in the northwestern part of India and the Pakistan territories of Pakistan. And so far, the archaeologists have come from the more than 1,000 sites belonging to the Indus Valley civilization. And out of these, the six can be regarded as the major cities like the Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Sanbudaro, Lothal, Kalibangan, and Banawali. And among them, the largest city probably the Mohenjo-daro, and next one the Harappa, like that. Okay. So and we have certain features in the yesterday's class regarding the town planning. Okay, so was the hallmark of Harappan culture, and Harappan towns and cities were built as per grid pattern, where the roads by lanes by intersecting each other at the right angles, and the drainage system in Indus Valley civilization towns were very impressive, and burnt bricks of uniform size were widely used across towns, and large places of communal bath were found as a part of the towns are like that. Okay, so this picture also we observed in the yesterday's class. Okay, so and apart from these, there are more some more things to be discussed because we completed the lecture yesterday at this juncture, and now today I want to give you certain economical aspects, and because these are a traditional system of knowing facts regarding the the ancient Indian civilization is nothing but Indus Valley civilization, and there are other ways uh, the things which you can have the facts regarding the Indus Valley. So I will give you after completing the economical aspects, which particularly agricultural, the economical and agricultural economy. Okay, so the Indus Valley people showed seeds in the floodplains in November, probably the November, when the flood water receded, and reaped the harvest in April before the advent of the next flood. Okay, so you are aware that the Indus River and certain tributaries like Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bias, Sutlej, like rivers also flowing through these Indus Valley sites, Indus Valley region, and all these rivers which giving a sufficient water and sometimes excessive water, okay, as a form of floods. Okay, so whenever the floods is taken place, immediately after the water is dried up, and the soil may be somewhat looser, and it may be easy to see the seeds in it. Okay, so without using the hardest, without using the hardest plow, they can easily can dig the land with a strong stick or the wood. Okay, so by using without using any power, without using any plow carried by animals or carried by any human power, they can easily dig the land with a strong stick, and they can show the seeds in it. Okay, so because after the flooding, when the water is dried up, the soil may be somewhat looser, and you will get a certain fertile soil, which is a alluvial character. Okay, so when the seeds are shown, because it is luteal and which is fertile in fertile character, so they can easily grow those seeds. Okay, so likewise they can follow agriculture in initial days, but later whenever the food grains in the crisis. Okay, so whenever the food scarcity has taken place, at that time only they followed a preferable or a planned planned cultivation. Okay, so they use the plow, and whenever the soil is somewhat harder, they use the strongest plow made with various metal or the wood. Okay, so otherwise they can easily sow the seeds in the soils, and after whenever the floods may be taken place twice a year or like that, and when the next flood is comes, before that only they can reap the harvest the first crop when they started. Okay, so that it may be probably the first they can sow the seeds, they can start the cultivation or agriculture in the November. Okay, so then when the next floods are comes, before that they can harvest the crops. Okay, so and next one, they produced two varieties like wheat, barley also. Okay, so and somewhere they also followed paddy also. Okay, so and apart from these, they also followed certain growing of cotton or like that, and uh, apart from that, many other crops also. Okay, so and along with the wheat and barley, they also grown the other crops like cotton and many other paddy or like that. Okay, so they also produce rye, peas, sesame, and mustard also. And evidence of mass use of rice has been found only from not Lothal, but the use of the evidence of this rice may be from the Banavali and Kalibangan, where these rice husks they found in certain areas, particularly in the soil or like that. Okay, so Indus people were the earliest people to produce cotton, and because many historians supported that the better quality of cotton which they produced from this Indus Valley only. Okay, so and as cotton was first produced in this area, and Greeks called it as Sindon, which is derived from the Sind. Okay, it is another 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 theory. We cannot go. Okay, so and irrigation was prevalent in the Indus Valley civilization agriculture, and they domesticated certain animals also. And as a part of domestication of animals, uh, they followed the oxen, buffalo, goat, sheep, and pigs, which were domesticated, and however humped bull were favored. Okay, so the you are watching the figure of humped bull, which is showed on many seals. Okay, so which is somewhat a holy animal which they follow. Okay, so humble bull was were favored at the time because the humped bull which used in the agriculture, and also the same humped bull they use for dragging the carts. Okay, so likewise they may domesticated, and also they even treated it as a holy also. Okay, next one is the dogs were regarded as the pets, and cats were also domesticated. Okay, all these are we are imagining. Okay, so we are imagining because it may be happened there. Okay, so we don't have that such exact written sources. Okay, so by following the archaeological sources, we are imagine that these may be happened there. Okay, they might be happened there, but we cannot say these exactly happened in the Indus Valley. Okay, so and asses and camels are also used as beasts of the burden, and horses were not in regular use. Okay, so in somewhere, in one or two places, certain remains of horse as discovered, like the Surkatoda, I think. Okay, so in the Surkatoda, they got certain remains of these horse, but they no one exactly saying that the horse were they used during the Indus Valley. Okay, so and Harappan people were also familiar with certain other elements like the elephants and runners or like that. Okay, so and after that. There is certain trade and commerce also they follow. Trade and commerce were flourishing in Harappan age. Trade and commercial activities were carried on through the sea as well as the land routes. Okay, so because they followed the internal and external trade also, because as a part of internal trade, they can supply from one place to the another, one city to or one town to the another, and through the bullock carts. And there are certain evidences showing that uh, these granaries in the cities where they store these food grains whenever the scarcity is taken place. Okay, so where these granaries are used for storing these food grains. Okay, so these food grains may be carried from the fields to the granaries through the bullock carts. Okay, so bullock cart is a terracotta figurine you find many places. Okay, so and the bullock cart is the main carrier at that time, which supplying the food from one place to the food grains from one place to the another. And another one is the seaborne trade. Okay, so the trade, the external trade is carried through the sea or the on the sea, because there are certain evidences also we'll see where the Lothal having a dockyard. Okay, so from the Lothal, the external trade may carry. Okay, so and another source you can prove the external trade has taken place with the written sources of Mesopotamia, which mentioned about one or two terms like the Meluha and Dilman. Okay, so probably Meluha, the term Meluha used many times, so that the historians may be consider that the Meluha may be the Indus Valley civilization, and also Dilman may be the Bahrain coast or like that. Through these Persian Gulf or Bahrain coast, these seaborne trade may be taken place in between the Mesopotamia and also Indus Valley civilization, because many Indus Valley seals you find at the Mesopotamian civilization, and also many Mesopotamian seals also, nearly 2000 plus Mesopotamian seals you find at various sites of Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so the carts, chariots, and animals were means of transport, as far as land trade is concerned. And for sea trade, big boats were used, but we don't find any such boats. We cannot find the remains of the boats yet anywhere, but we find only the Lothal, a dockyard at the Lothal. It may be the entry port, we can say. It may be entry port from the external part of the world who entered in the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, next one is the Harappan people had trade relation within India as well as with other countries outside India. And the Mesopotamian texts of the same period refer to trade relations with Meluha, which was the ancient name given to the Indus region. And with no clear evidence of currency, money be used by the exchange must have been through the barter system. Okay, so you can say exactly that no evidence regarding the currency, like the coin or any medium of exchange has taken place at that time, but no source has found. But we have only certain sources like the seals. Okay, so these seals may be used as for protection purpose, I think, and sometimes for identifying a particular destination, these seals may be used. Okay, sometimes there are certain mythological reason that these seals may be used for protection, and any corruption or any malpractice or any robbery or dacoity taken place whenever supplying these goods from one place to the another. To avoid those such thing, the seals may be used. They can fix the seals with the bag. Okay, so and the seals having certain identifications, so that the destination may also the destination may be clearly identified through the seals are like that. So in that way only the number of Indus Valley seals may you get in the Mesopotamian territories. Okay, so and apart from these, there are some other things to be discussed regarding the Indus Valley economy. And as a part of economy, the Indus traders weighed their goods on scales using stone weights. These scale pans here are made up of the copper. Okay, so you are watching a stone weights, and also the goods, the scale which is made with certain metal, they use for the weighting particular article or the good. Okay, so and there are other important aspects also there, and there are certain numericals also they use. Okay, so like 2, 4, and 8, 16. Okay, so 16 they used the number 16 they used as a somewhat a basic figure. Okay, so likewise they use certain numbers also, and the making of the bricks also like that. These bricks may be having certain uniform scale. Okay, so likewise they use the certain numericals also as a part of the economy of Indus Valley. Okay, so whenever see the art of Indus Valley civilization, and the Harappan civilization belongs to the Bronze Age. Harappan people used many tools and implements of the stone, and but they were very well acquainted with the manufacture and use of bronze, which was made by mixing tin and copper also. And bronze smiths manufacture not only images and utensils, but also various tools and weapons such as the axes, saws, knives, and spears also. Okay, so all these are used only domestic purpose. Okay, because these Indus Valley people were peace-loving people. Okay, so you have to imagine, because no battle or any war taken place during the Indus Valley. Okay, so that you can imagine that the Indus Valley people may be a peace-loving people, so that where they are not unknown about the use of certain metals, strong metal like iron, so that their metal was somewhat delicate when compared to the iron metal which used by iron weapons or tools which used by the Aryans. Okay, so this is a supporting point for this Aryan invasion theory, which is given by Max Muller. Okay, so according to Max Muller, the Aryans who attacked on these Indus Valley people, and they destroyed whole existing civilization, and those who captured were treated them as a servants, and those who escaped from the attack, though those people were migrated to the south, and there are many those who come uh, migrated to Punjab as a Dravidians. Those people, Moolavasi, many Indian historians supporting the theory, the Moolavasi who started the indigenous culture in the southern part where they are migrated from the Indus Valley civilization are like that, Indus Valley regions are like that. Okay, so the Aryans who dominated on this, and you can support this theory by showing certain things in the Rig Veda, like in the Rig Veda, you see the terms like Dasa, Dasyu. Okay, so Dasa, Dasyu, which is the Aryans used for the servants, and the color of the Dasa, Dasyu also somewhat black featured. And according to this, you can imagine that the existing people in the Indus Valley, they had certain black featured structure, and those captured by these Aryans were them treated them as a the servants. Okay, they called with the name Dasa and Das. Okay, so the escaped people were migrated to the south. Okay, so this is a basic theory many of Indian historians also supported. And when the Harappan people used many tools and implements of the stone, but they were very well acquainted with the manufacture and use of bronze, which was made by mixing tin and copper. And bronzesmith manufacture not only images and utensils, but also various tools and weapons such as axes, saws, and knives and spears. And bricklaying was an important craft at that time. Okay, so apart from that, the Harappan people had the knowledge of boot making, seal making, and terracotta manufacturing. Okay, so you are watching on the screen that which is a similar bullock cart, which is a terracotta figurine. Such figurines has got from various places also. Okay, so another one is the bead chains you are watching below the terracotta figurine of bullock cart. Okay, so the bead, making a bead also another important craft which they followed. Okay, so basically in the Lothal, you see a street separately for this sale and manufacturing of beads. Okay, so and bead making also another important craft they followed along with the various making of utensils or weapons like that. Okay, so Harappans were expert in bead making, and they used jewelry of gold, silver, and precious stones. Also, they made, and the potter's wheel was in full use. The Harappans produced their own characteristic pottery, which was made glossy and shining also. Okay, so pottery was also another important thing which the Indus Valley people will follow. Okay, so and apart from that, the Indus Valley had certain seals. Okay, so you are watching on the screen that various seals having various figurines. Okay, so one seal is consists of this humped bull, and another one is a rhino, and which is another which is like a horse, not horse, unicorn like that. Okay, so such Animals also you'll see in various seals. Apart from these, you can also observe many other human figurines also. Okay, so like Mother Goddess and Pashupati Mahadeva, a structure of Pashupati Mahadeva. Also, you see and such various seals. Okay, so most of the common seals which are made up of statite. Okay, so statite is nothing but a soft stone, and the seals were the greatest artistic creation of Harappan people. And the majority of the seals have an animal engraved on them with a short inscription. And unicorn is the animal most commonly represented on the seals. And seals were extensively used during trade of the goods. Okay, so these seals may be used for identifying certain goods and material which they send to particular destination. Okay, so and there are other things also regarding the culture of ancient Indus Valley civilization, and all these things we will discuss in the tomorrow's class. Okay, so this is end of my lecture today, and tomorrow I will give you not tomorrow in the next class on Monday like that I will give you many other things what we left in the previous classes, and I will give you a maximum number of or the more I will try to give you more and detailed information regarding the Indus Valley, because the Indus Valley is one of the part in our syllabus. You can get every the Indus Valley civilization may cover in every part of examination as a academic or competitive, and everywhere you will get questions from the Indus Valley civilization, so that I will give you maximum of the information regarding the Indus Valley. It takes up to the 10 periods or more than that. I will give you the maximum information and the most more detailed way in the next classes also. Okay, so students, this is my class today, and regarding my class, you have any doubts or clarification, you are welcome to ask me now.
సార్ సింధు నాగరికతల్లో వరి పండించలే సార్?
మళ్ళీ చెప్పండి ఏంటి?
వరి వరి
వరి
పండించలే సార్ అక్కడ సింధు నాగరికతలో?
పండించడానికి క్లియర్ గా ఎలాంటి అంటే సోర్సెస్ ఏం లేవు, కాకపోతే
అంటే రంగపూర్లో వరి పొట్టు దొరికింది కదా సార్?
అదే చెప్తున్నా, నా ముందు నేను చెప్పింది నువ్వు ఫస్ట్ విన్న తర్వాత. ఓకే, సో వరి పూర్తిగా పండించినట్లుగా సరైనటువంటి ఆధారాలు లేవు. ఓకే, సో ఒక 2-3 చోట్ల మాత్రమే దానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి అంటే కొన్ని ఆనవాళ్ళు దొరికినాయి. ఓకే, సో అందులో ఏదైతే బనావలి కానీ, రంగపూర్, అట్లనే కాళీబంగన్ లాంటి ప్రాంతాల్లో ఏదైతే మట్టి పిల్లల్లో అక్కడ ఏదైతే ఎగ్జిబిషన్ చేసినప్పుడు, తవ్వకాలు జరిపినప్పుడు అక్కడ కొన్ని మట్టి పిల్లల్లో వరి పొట్టు ఉన్నట్టుగా కొన్ని ఆనవాలు కనిపించినాయి. సో దాన్ని బేస్ చేసుకొని మాత్రమే మనం అక్కడ వరి పండించారు అనేటటువంటిది మనం చెప్పగలుగుతున్నాం. ఓకే, కానీ ఫుల్ ఫ్లెడ్జ్డ్గా వాళ్ళు వరి పండించారా లేదా అనేటటువంటిది క్లారిటీ లేదు. సో వాళ్ళు పండించినటువంటి మిగతా పంటలకు సంబంధించినటువంటి ఆనవాళ్ళు కనిపిస్తాయి. బార్లీ కానీ లేకపోతే వీటికి సంబంధించినటువంటి ఆనవాళ్ళు దొరికినాయి. అట్లనే ఈవెన్ కాటన్, మొహంజోదారోలో మీకు తెలుసు ఒక ఓవెన్ క్లాత్కి సంబంధించినటువంటి ఒక ఆనవాళ్ళు అక్కడ తవ్వకాల్లో బయటపడ్డాయి. కాబట్టి సో అది ఏదైతే కాటన్తో తయారు చేసినటువంటి క్లాత్ ఏదైతే హిస్టారియన్స్ వాళ్ళు కన్ఫర్మ్ చేయడం ద్వారా అది ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఏదైతే ఈ కాటన్ పండించినారనటానికి ఒక ఏదైతే ఒక ప్రూఫ్ అనేటటువంటిది దొరికింది. కానీ వరి పొట్టు 1-2 చోట్ల దొరికినంత మాత్రాన వాళ్ళకి ఫుల్ ఫ్లెడ్జ్డ్గా వరి పండించారా లేదా అనేటటువంటిది కొంత కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉంది, డౌట్ఫుల్ అన్నమాట. ఇంకా రాజేష్ ఓకేనా?
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్.
ఇంకా ఇంకేమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయి?
సార్ ఈ యాన్షియన్ హిస్టరీ బుక్ ఏం తీసుకోవాలి సార్? కోటిలో ఒక బుక్ దొరకలేదు సార్ హిస్టరీ గురించి పోతే.
దొరకలేదా?
దొరకలేదు సార్, మొత్తం అన్ని షాప్ తిరిగిన. అన్ని
ఆ.
బుక్స్ ఎంఎస్సీ వాళ్ళకు కెమిస్ట్రీ ఫిజిక్స్ వాళ్ళకి అన్ని ఉన్నాయి కానీ ఎంఏ హిస్టరీ వాళ్ళకి మాత్రం లేవు సార్, ఒక బుక్ దొరకలేదు కోటిలో.
సరే, ఓకే, నో ప్రాబ్లం. నేను కొంతవరకు అంటే ఆన్లైన్ సోర్సెస్ ద్వారా ఏమన్నా పీడిఎఫ్ మోడ్లో ఉన్నటువంటి కొన్ని బుక్స్ 1-2 నాకు దొరికినాయి. ఓకే, డిఎన్జా సంబంధించి ఒకటి, యాన్షియంట్ హిస్టరీకి, అట్లనే ఆర్ఎస్ శర్మకి సంబంధించి 1-2 బుక్స్ నాకు ఆన్లైన్లో దొరికినాయి. వీలైతే నేను అవి పోస్ట్ చేసే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తాను గ్రూపులలో. ఓకే,
ఓకే సార్.
యాన్షియంట్ ఇండియన్ హిస్టరీకి సంబంధించి కొన్ని బుక్స్ మీకు పోస్ట్ చేస్తాను, వీలైతే వాటిని చదవండి.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే students, okay, so I am ending my class. Thank you.
సార్
చెప్పండి.
మీరు సెండ్ చేసిన పీడిఎఫ్ ఆ సెమ్ చదువుకోవచ్చా సార్? సెమ్
చదువుకోవచ్చు,
వేరే మెటీరియల్ ఏం లేకుండా పీడిఎఫ్ ఓన్లీ
చదువుకోండి. మీకు అందుకోసమే నేను వాటిని షేర్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఓకే, సో
ఓకే సార్.
ఆ మెటీరియల్ మీకు కొంచెం స్కార్సిటీ ఉంటుంది, సో మీకు బుక్స్ అలాంటివి కూడా ఉండవు కాబట్టి సో కొంత హెల్ప్ఫుల్ అవుతుందని మీకు షేర్ చేస్తున్నాను. మీరు వాటిని చదువుకోవచ్చు, అసైన్మెంట్స్ రాయొచ్చు, ఎగ్జామ్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో చదువుకోవచ్చు, మీకు అన్ని విధాలుగా ఉపయోగపడుతుంది.